there's a lot of interesting things I can talk about. LSU's a damn underdog according to Vegas. They're not even favored to win this game. Does Garrett Nussmeier get off the field at all? Do they get out of their wide receiver main rotation? Like, what's that going to look like on the offensive side? Because I'm taking for granted this might be a 2-possession win, but Las Vegas is saying otherwise. Las Vegas is saying, LSU fans, get ready. It is going to be grimy.
Don't forget about Weston Davis on the O line too. Highly touted O lineman coming out of high school, and they've been raving about him and his potential. And so I would hope to see him get some time in his bowl game too, because I think he has an opportunity to be really, really good down the line. Offensively, man, Colin Billiard is somebody that will play in his bowl game. He's going to get opportunities. How much he's going to play, that remains to be seen. But I know he's been having some really, really good bowl practices. I talked to a lot of guys on the staff often about Colin, and they said what he has came when he got to on campus in July, well, mid-June to now, total 360, total 360. He still has some things he need to work on. The little small nuances and technical things they want him to work on, as far as like releases and stuff at the top of the route and stuff like that, and just understanding the signals and being able to play fast. But as far as his treats and his measurables, they are excited about Colin Billiard. And I know a lot of people are saying to themselves, where they bring all these receivers in from the portal. I think Colin Billiard still will have a chance to be a guy that rotates in next year and catch about 20 to 25 balls, right? And if that happens, that'll be a really, really good season for him, especially somebody that's going to be a redshirt freshman. Because remember, even though he's playing in this bowl game, that doesn't take away his redshirt year. So he's still going to have 4 years in college. So I think that's big for somebody like Colin Billiard. So I'm assuming that he's going to play about 20 to 25 snaps in this bowl game. Hopefully he gets some targets and be able to showcase why they so excited and talking about his development and his projection and what do you think he could be for LSU in the future, man. Because I think Colin could be one of the next best ones to come out of that stable.
I agree. And one of the main type of wide receivers you needed LSU at least to bring in was a vertical threat. Someone you can go down the field, toss it up one-on-one, and trust that they're going to come down with it 9 times out of 10 or damn near 10 times out of 10. And Colin Billiard's shown that ability. And like you're talking about, you just tweak a couple of things. You got 4 more years potentially left with them. And then, to build off of that point with the bowl game eligibility, first off, so glad that happened, because the last time LSU's in the Texas Bowl, we're just up shit creek without a
They
paddle.
had John Trey Kirkland playing quarterback.
We got a wide receiver slinging rock, bro. And I mean,
Man, I
he
know
he
he
had
played it in high school, but man, that was some bad football that day.
yeah. The only good takeaway I had was that Keyshawn Booty touchdown over the top. That was it. Other than that, I mean, Kansas State really put the whooping on them, and I hope that we don't have to see something like that. You made something pop in my head though, talking about red shirt and being saved, eligibility, all this stuff. Wes Weeks should be out there, and we should be able to get a good look at him as well. I mean, I know,
Yeah.
not saying what you're going to get out of him, but it's just like him coming back and playing in this game will probably alleviate a lot of the nerves, at least on that position. You're losing Greg Penn, and I think Greg Penn could be one of the most underrated LSU defensive stars in the last few years. Nobody really gives him enough credit for how many tackles he's getting, how much of a veteran presence he is on the field. I mean, there's times where, quite frankly, some people might need some help, and Greg Penn is there to alleviate that. I mean, when you have the headset, when you have the intuition, the brain, the IQ, whatever you want to call it, I think all boats rise. You make everybody better around you. And I'm not saying Greg Penn leaving is going to be instant detriment. I'm just saying it could be noticeable. And if Wes Weeks can slide right in and be another one of those veteran minds who's been in the system, been learning, walked around the block a little bit, that transitional period will be a little easier. But
So you bring on Wes Weeks, and the talk in the building right now is they're projecting Wick to be at one of the either the Will or the Sam, and Perk to be at either the Will or the Sam, and Wes Weeks be the Mike linebacker next year.
I like that.
I'm hearing they want to go with a 3 linebacker look next year versus what they did this year. They went with a 2 linebacker look. So I want to see how Wes is going to look in this Baylor game. I want to see, is he playing fast? Is he physical? Can he run? I don't really know too much about Wes coming out of high school. I didn't really follow him coming out of high school. I just remember when they signed him, and he didn't get any time this past season, so I didn't really get to see how good he was in that practice. I really didn't watch him too much. So I'm very curious to see how West is going to look in this game because that's going to be a telltale sign of how this linebacker room going to look next year with him leading it at the mic. So, first thing I'm looking for is physicality. The second thing I'm looking for, can he run? Does he have that athleticism to be able to move? Because you got to be able to run in that SEC. So I'm curious to see how he's going to look. Don't forget about somebody like Jelani Watkins, too, at receiver. 10-2, 10-3 guy. He's going to be somebody that's going to get a lot of time in this bowl game, too. So be on the lookout for him to see if they're going to, stretch the field and try to get him some big play opportunities.
I agree. Got Jay Woods in the chat asking, how's DJ Pickett looking at practice? I don't have much info. I'm excited that he's out there. I'm excited that he's getting them teeth cut. You always preach about early enrollees being that much ahead of the curve. It doesn't seem like it's much, but that 1% incremental increase, as long as you're getting better and everybody else isn't, you are gaining leaps and bounds.
They're raving about him. They got people already kind of starting to make the Derek Stingley and DJ Pickett comparisons. So he has all the makeup, bro. Like, when you watch him, you just see it. He just got some things that you just can't coach. He got that it. You could tell he's highly intelligent. He has a high football IQ. I would not be surprised if he's in the running to start at one of those corner spots next year. I really wouldn't be surprised. It's going to be interesting to see how this going to play out with Jaheim Jackson, DJ Pickett, Ashton Stamps, the kid from Virginia Tech. It's going to be a healthy competition battle between those four guys. And guess what? Whoever ended up starting at the two corner spots, you still got two other corners that can rotate in, and you really don't have a drop off. And that's what you need in the SEC, man. Because you got to worry about injuries. You got to worry about guys when they go 5 wide, they go empty, like when you play like a Tennessee or somebody like that. So, it's going to be a very, very competitive DB room. So people should be excited about it. They just got to make sure they get them safety shirt up and get some guys out at that safety position that's going to be able to play on that back end to complement what they got at the edge rusher and what they got at DB and the linebackers.
I'm definitely excited. That's going to be one of the main things I'm looking for tomorrow. If DJ Pickett's out there at practice, best believe I'm getting all the content for you. I'm going to be trying to hawk them down every single time. I want to go back, though. We were talking about the schemes, the three linebackers. LSU ran a 4-2-5 this season, right? At least for that second half of the year. So would they move to a 3-3-5? Would they move to like a base, like a 3-4? What would that be?
I don't know exactly what Blake's playing as far as his base defense. I know, me and him talked a few times. They want to move to 3 linebackers next season. So how that's going to look, I don't know. But I know they want to move to 3 linebackers like they're talking about in the building, West, Witt, and Pert being the 3 linebackers on the field next year. So we're going to see. I think, this is big for West Weeks in this bowl game because this is going to make Blake be more comfortable and more confident going to that 3 linebacker look if West looks the way he anticipates him to look in his bowl game.
And what do you think about the fact that Blake Baker's working with this linebacker room in general? You think they're going to be that much ahead of the curve, especially because like the defensive coordinator, the guy who's calling the plays, the dude whose mind you're going to have to get inside is practicing with you every day?
Yeah. Blake is, a top 5 defensive coordinator in the country in my mind. Now, all you LSU fans that want to go back and talk about how he gave up 40-some points to Bama and the defense looked like this against Florida and whatever you want to see. And if you go back and you see how consistent I've been and my message to the LSU fans about they just needed better players on defense. All right, I don't give a damn you got Bill Belichick calling the defense. You need players and you need guys. Well, guess what? That front 7, they got some guys. At corner, they got some guys. If they get in this portal and they get 2 really good safeties that has the experience and fits the scheme that Blake wants to run, look out for the LSU defense next year. Nah, they still got to put it all together. They still got to get that chemistry. They still got to, figure out how to highlight everybody's attributes when the spring comes. But as far as on paper, as far as ability, as far as talent, he going to have it. And so I really think this LSU defense can be one of the best in the country next year if they go get these safeties in the portal. That's the last thing I think they need to do. Get 2 really good safeties out of this portal. And add that with Deshaun Spears and Toviano.